Hello, hello, hello! Welcome back to another episode of Train Simulator Classic. Yes, we are going back to the new version of Train Simulator that was released, what was it, last Thursday? Yes, I think it was last Thursday. And that new version introduced 3 routes, or basically it contains 3 routes, because most of those were already in the game. Last time we've seen the only, I think, new DLC that came with the new version, which was Leipzig Riesa extension to Dresden Riesa route. And that was fun. That was really fun. Although, as you probably noticed, I'm quite terrible when it comes to use of PZB, LZB, and all those systems, especially in Train Simulator, because everything works a bit different. But well, blame Dovetail. Nah, I'm also terrible at it. So yeah, no worries. Anyway, who do we have here today? Raliev, hello, hello, welcome to the stream. Canadian Pacific, hello. Hainam, oh, I see. Good luck on your exam tomorrow. Right, chat. So, what I got for you today is another of the routes included with the base game that you can buy right now on Steam. And this one is set in United Kingdom. So it's WCML South, basically a route that goes from London to Birmingham. So that's, if I'm correct, that's going to be about 120 miles long journey. So that's pretty good for Train Simulator. That's one of the longest routes. So it's nice to see that Dovetail is starting to introduce those longer routes, although yeah, they still lack in quality in some places. Also, at the end of that route, I will have a small bonus for you guys, so stay tuned. When we finish with this particular scenario, I'm gonna show you something. Yes, because I've been working on something, and I would like to show you some progress. Anyway, the Greek Zeus, hello. Welcome to the stream. Right, so chat, without any further ado, I believe we are supposed to begin this journey, shall we? Yeah, I think that's gonna be a good idea. So let me just do that. There we go. And now, let's begin. Well, this is gonna be fun. It's not common for me to drive on UK routes because most of them are pretty terrible and empty, and that's the problem. And also, UK doesn't really do too much freight cargo. Those routes are usually passenger routes, and I'm not particularly fan of those. Although, well, today we can take control of this lovely Pendolino high-speed train. So you will see some high speeds. Right, so let's see. Good afternoon, driver. Please release the passenger doors and set the train ready for departure. You are due out at 17:23 and you are only stopping at Watford Junction, Coventry and Birmingham International before arriving at Birmingham New Street. Okay. This is high-speed run with a tight schedule. Yes, the schedule will be very tight, so don't expect me to get high scores, chat. No, that's not going to happen. Unless I will do some speeding offenses, which are not very welcome. Anyway, let's see what the game has for me today. Okay. Okay, and I think the game immediately crashed. Or no, okay. For some reason the game just decided, yeah, let's minimize itself, and yeah, that's exactly what the game did, and now I lost control. Well, that's a good start, isn't it, chat? Oh, okay. So that was probably the mod that was initializing. Speaking of mod, there we go. Let's enable that so we can see that on this on the screen. Okay. Perfect. Right. So first things first. Let me set the reverser. Let's reset those. Let's apply DRA. There we go. Those are opened. My goodness me, there are so many alarms. So instrument lights, that won't be needed. Headlights, definitely, they running. Okay, perfect. And notepad lights, cab light. No, I don't need notepad lights. Okay, let's ventilate the cabins, just in case someone needs that. Let's not put emergency brakes. Let's put it on brake setting 1. Perfect. I think we are all set. Sadly, for some reason, I can't hear any announcements on this station. Maybe something will show up. Mr. Google, is there any difference in the classic thing? No, it's only the name. The game is still the same. So, yeah, it's still the same game that was released in 2009, I believe. Yeah, I think it was 2009 when Train Simulator got released. So, yeah, nothing new. Oh, I see. Yeah, if the game gives you that error, there's not much you can do about it. Right, instruction complete. Wait for the signal and let's get going. I do have a signal, chat. I do have a signal. So what? Can I get going? I believe I do. Oh yeah. It would probably be appropriate to turn off DRA. Yeah, okay. Technically, I was due to depart at 5:25, but who cares? Some passengers that are late will probably not board this train. Well, I don't know, Mr. Google. Like, it's game made by Dotale. It has different problems. Ooh, there we go. There we go. We got some new sounds. I like those. Those are coming from the mod that I installed, so it's not entirely base game. Okay, I believe that the speed limit on this section is 15 miles an hour. We are getting very close to that. Okay, let's let it coast for a while before I can speed up all the way to 25 and then 30. Yeah, this is a very long train, so okay, don't give me any alarms now, please. Okay, the tracks are going downhill, so technically I could let it coast, but knowing my luck, the train will just completely stop. So let's give it a little bit of power. And we should be good. Alright, that looks good. We are speeding up now. Let's give it notch 2. Since we are going to go uphill. We still got some speed reserves. And we will lose some of it, because now the train will be going uphill. we are also entering 50-mile-an-hour speed limit. So let's give it notch 3 now. And soon we should get to a proper speed. No alarms, please. There we go. Beautiful. Jessica team, hello, welcome to the stream. I hope you will have a great time today. How is it going? It's going really well. It's really going really well. Javos, hello, welcome to the stream. My goodness me, so many people are showing up. Okay, we are in 40-mile-an-hour speed limit zone, I believe. Let's let it coast for now. At least that is if I'm correct when it comes to signs. I had only sign to the right of the tracks. So I'm not sure if that applies to me or not. It's Dovetail, so they might have set up something wrong. Okay, the speed limit will now go up to 55. That's a very dark tunnel, isn't it? Ooh, that looks scary. Okay, we can now speed up. Canadian Pacific. Yes, technically that should be the truth. The problem is that the game was made by Dovetail, and sometimes they mess up and they apply the wrong speed limits to trains. So technically now my speed limit should go up to 80, and I believe it does. So I think we can give it some throttle. Yeah, the schedule seems really tight. Yes, AWS is on. And every now and then it will basically react with some alarms and stuff. Okay, we are now in 100 zone. There we go. If I remember correctly, there are two different systems operating in this train. I'm not sure if the other one is on. Hopefully it does. How's the route? See, Jessica, that's the thing about routes made by Dovetail. It's pretty much straight routes, so like there are no branch offs and stuff. So that's a bit of a shame. But other than that, it's really alright. It looks really nice. When it comes to environments, whatever you can see from the train, that looks pretty much realistic. but further you go away from the route, the worse it gets. So yeah, that's one of the things about those routes. They are very detailed just around the tracks, or just as far as it has to be, so that you can see it from the cabin and so. But anything that you can't directly see from the cabin, yeah, that's quite poorly detailed. There we go. I think... Oh, my goodness me. That was rough. Let's have a look outside. Okay, so we got 2 freight trains waiting for clear signal. That's really nice sight. Are they even on? Oh. Well, there is someone sitting in, but the lights are off. So I believe those 2 locomotives are currently off. They got some containers. Okay, okay. I don't think those trains will ever move today. We got another Pendolino heading to London for a change. And that's us. Nice. Let's have a look at this environment. So as you can see, as far as the tracks goes, like the route looks really nice. But the further you go, yeah, the worse it gets. But yeah, again, you don't really need those details because you will never see them. Almost never, at least. Ooh, that's a nice yard. Definitely that opens some possibilities to do some work. Although they look kind of empty when it comes to scenarios. That's another thing about Dovetail. They don't really pay too much attention to fill those yards with something. Like, at least put, I don't know, some empty cars somewhere, just to indicate that, yeah, this yard wasn't built just for nothing, because right now it's just a massive waste of space, isn't it? Like, look at this, look at this, look at this. All empty tracks, nothing. All the way to the station. Although the station looks quite impressive. I mean, yeah, some of the houses are like, it's all copy-paste, but if you look at the real UK street, it pretty much looks the same. Like, every single house looks the same. But yeah, in general, it's really nice. Oh, we got some missing bridge. If we, yeah, that's. I don't think that's the way you build a bridge. I would be scared to drive on it. Okay, who am I lying? I'm gonna be driving on it. Look at this. Oh my goodness me. Yeah. So we got some missing bridge, chat. Yeah, that is definitely missing. Yeah, but on the other hand, that goes a little bit towards the bonus that I have at the end. And it's gonna be a few words about editor in this game. Because it is really clunky. It's definitely clunky thing. Anyway, I believe we shall carry on. Did I actually took a photo of that place? No, I didn't. Right, that's the busiest part of the route, so perhaps it would be wise to grab some nice screenshots. Okay, let's carry on. Right, we still got 15 miles to go. Task Houston. Oh, don't tell me Okay, okay. No, everything is Gucci. Okay, we are now in 125 miles an hour zone. We are doing 122. Perhaps we could drop it to notch 1 just to hold our speed. Perfect. That's gonna be really, really relaxing drive. There are a couple of speed limits. Oh, that's one of the neutral zones, in fact. Although all I have to do is to reduce that. And I think... Or was it the end of the neutral section? I think it was the end of neutral section. Can't remember. I really need to review the signage for that. Okay, we are still doing 120 miles an hour. It doesn't really feel that quick, isn't it? Yeah, I think that was the end of neutral section. So I can't see any more signs or the actual section because it's very short and it's marked on the tracks. Okay, all in all, the route doesn't look too bad. The only thing that bothers me is that emptiness. Like, literally nothing happens, and that's the worst thing about UK routes in Train Sim World or Train Simulator. They are always made too empty. And UK has very busy routes sometimes. It's literally train after train. Sadly, Dovetail can't seem to be able to fill them. Although they did quite a good job on London-Brighton routes in Train Sim World 2. That was actually busy. Well, that looked busier than this, because this is empty. Domke, hello, welcome to the stream. I hope you'll have a great time today. How are you doing? Okay, I think we can give it a little bit more juice. We definitely don't want to be late, although we already are. How far is this? We still got 3.5 miles. There we go. Oops, I think I missed a speed limit. Oops. Well, I'm not sure if that's a super fast train, although... Okay, I still got 1.5 miles. Perhaps it would be wise to slow down. Luigi Rota, hello, welcome to the stream. I hope you'll have a great time today. Ooh, nice, nice. Enjoy your vacation then. More like a speed suggestion. Nah. Okay. The station is just right up ahead. Oh, in fact, I could probably slow down a bit harsher than I do. Ooh, I might not make it. Yikes, oh, chat, I think I overshot the station. Yep. My goodness me, this thing doesn't stop, isn't it? Ooh, that was one bad driving. Right, we shall fix it. Okay, chat. That is one of the situations when nothing happened, okay? We shall release the brakes and give it a notch back. Yeah. Okay, okay. You know, part of the train is still inside the platform, although, yeah, I was probably supposed to slow down a little bit faster. And that's the thing about UK. If I wouldn't check that I'm approaching the station, I wouldn't even notice that it's here. Seriously. Like, you don't get that signals. So obviously signals didn't tell me, hey, you are about to stop. Perhaps it would be wise to slow down. Right. Yeah, definitely. That's not... Nah, that wouldn't happen. Not on my watch. No one's going on the rails. My goodness me, how far did I overshot that? There we go. Okay. Chat, nothing happened. Nothing happened. Everything is good. No, but... Okay, I think I'm still too far. Yeah. Move. Seriously, to me the doors are closed. Yeah, this mission is busted. Oh my goodness me. Right. I think we will do it again. How did I manage to fail that? Oh, come on, give me a break. I didn't know there are no animations for the doors. That's the first time it happened. I thought the doors are closed, so I was like, oh, maybe I can't open them. Okay, that's something new. Chat, that is another example of me driving today. Right, you learn every day. Okay, that needs to be on. I don't want emergency brakes. Okay, I guess we are good. I really need to remember that this train doesn't really have animations because, hey, dovetail. Oh, seriously, in Train Sim World you can actually unload passengers onto the rails. That's interesting. That never happened to me. Okay, I think all the systems. Okay. Now they are initialized. Okay, I think that is working. Let me just double check if that mod is working, because it tends to have a bad time sometimes. Yeah, I don't think it is. Oh, there we go. Now it's working. Okay, let's try that again, chat. Let's try that again. I think I got everything on. The problem is that I don't know when the doors are closing. Oh, there we go. Now they are. And yeah, indeed, there are no animations, so I couldn't even know that the doors were opened. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. And I was hoping I can actually do this mission correctly. Okay, so let's get going, chat. Let's get going. No, not this way. There we go. Is this thing going to move? I'm sure it will. Oh, okay. Probably it would help if I would turn off DRA. I always keep forgetting about that system. There we go. Now we are moving. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. Alright, chat, the train is back on track, okay. Nothing happened. We're getting there. There we go. Nice and slow. Let's not go over the speed limit. Right, that little helper is showing me that I got 3 minutes delay already. That might be accurate, in fact. That might be way too accurate. But again, it all depends on mission settings, and Dovetail has that bad tendency to set missions in UK to be a bit too strict in some places. So, for example, like the timetables, if you remember, what is that, Bakerloo line in Train Sim World 2, like the speed limit's there. Like, you literally need to reach the speed limit instantly when you reach the zone. Otherwise, you won't make it. Okay, I'm still within the speed limit, which is nice. Doing exactly 30 miles an hour. I'm technically in 50 zone now. There we go. Perfect. What was I? Yes. So technically Dovetail is setting really too strict speed limits, timetables for passenger trains in UK routes. I think they eased it off a little bit on London Brighton in Train Sim World 2, where you actually have some time reserve. But yeah, normally they expect you to be exactly at the speed limit at all times, otherwise you just won't make it. Oh, just look at this. I already... yeah, according to that UI, I'm already 6 minutes late. Okay, that's gonna be 55. Okay, I still have a chance. I still have a chance to make it on time. There we go. Just make sure to properly follow proper protocols. Technically, you're right. There we go. That's 55, and we are now speeding up to 80. I have to say that this train is very easy to drive. Like, apart from the fact that brakes are a little bit too delicate to my taste. This thing is absolute pleasure to drive. Okay, let's try to reclaim some time. We got 6 minutes to reach our next destination. Can we actually make it? Yeah, we should be alright. Okay, the speed limit is 105. We are doing 102. Yeah, still 105. Okay, let's let it coast. And now it goes up to 120. There we go. We are almost back where we were. Although this time I'm hoping to stop at the station properly, so at least I won't mess up. Well, one can only hope. And hey, this time the bridge rendered. Beautiful. Okay, the speed limit is now 125. I will just drop it to notch 1 to hold the speed. And now I will try to pay attention to the tracks. Oh, that's going to be neutral section. There we go. And it should be somewhere around here. Oh, okay. That's the end of neutral section. Let's keep it on notch 1. We will have to slow down really soon. How far is that? 8 miles. Right, yeah, that's the problem of British routes. They don't really have those signs or anything that would indicate that there is a station there. What they usually do is signaling. The problem is that this game has the worst signaling ever. Literally. Like, as long as the game can give you a clear path, even if you have to stop in the middle, it will give you a clear path. So basically the game doesn't recognize that you first need to stop at the platform in order to give you a green signal all the way to the next platform. You don't get that here. And this makes stations very easy to overshoot. Okay. We are slowing down slightly. Just because I'm expecting a speed limit reduction. Although that might be further than I anticipated. Yeah, we still got nearly 5 miles. And 2 minutes to go, chat. 5 miles. 5? Okay, yeah, 4.5. And 2 minutes to go. I don't think we're gonna make it. Yeah, we're gonna be late. Again. Although that's also quite common on British railways. Like, very often the trains are not going according to timetable. Delays are quite frequent. Let's have a look. Do we have speed limit restrictions somewhere there? Oh, okay. Something is gonna be here. 110. Yeah, I'm doing 120. So probably we want to slow down. Let's drop it to 100. Ooh, okay, the game decided to load a new section of the tracks. Okay, so that's the speed limit. Okay. Okay, that's not the station I'm about to stop. It is further down the road. But I am going to reduce my speed just to make sure that I will be able to stop. Okay, 65 miles per hour sounds like reasonable speed. We are late. There's not much I can do about it. Because technically that should be double yellow. Or at least yellow. Yeah, and that's the station. Yeah, so the previous one was supposed to be double yellow, this one was supposed to be yellow, and the next one was supposed to be red. If we are talking about proper signaling for this place. There we go. Brakes are very delicate in that thing. Just look at this. Okay. And doors are now opened. Chat, we are where we left, okay? So my apologies, that small bump on the road. Now we will enjoy the rest of the journey. I think the next station is like 60 miles away, so that's gonna take us like 40 minutes to reach our next destination. It is gonna be very, very long. Okay, I believe the doors have now closed. Yeah, and that was signal from the dispatcher or train director, so I believe we can now move out. There we go. And off we go. Okay, let's go all the way to notch 4. I'm always struggling to operate those like computer operated trains where literally everything is on electronics, because I'm never sure if I can just crack on, give it full throttle and the computer will take care of like optimal engine load and stuff, and make sure that the train speeds up at the fastest possible rate, or if I'm gonna enter a wheel slip and that would be embarrassing and shameful. Anyway, we are on our way to Coventry. 75 miles, chat. 75 miles. That's gonna be a really long drive. Okay, not much interesting views inside the tunnel. I know. But we'll get there, There we go, and the speed limit is now 125. Although we are still not anywhere close to that speed. Right, chat, our next stop is at 6:20, I think. So, yeah, that's gonna be a long drive. And the whole route will be at high speed, pretty much. So, if you take it for comparison, the route between previous station and the next station is pretty much the length of entire route in Train Sim World 2. In most cases you won't get anything longer. So in that sense, this route for Train Simulator Classic is really long. Too bad that even though the game is on the market for like 23 years now, yeah, I think it will be like 23 years. Is it? No, 13 years. There we go. 23. What am I saying? 13 years. So in 13 years, Dovetail couldn't actually program AI to sort out proper signaling, or at least gave mission creators an ability to set the signal and connect them to triggers or anything that would happen on the rails, so that we can organize the traffic in more realistic way. But well, it's Dovetail for you. It's still good what they've done, but this could have been done better, and the game would still have another 10 years of a lifetime at least. Okay, let's slow down a little bit. Yeah, I shall keep it at 120 for now. There we go. Ooh, we got another neutral section. Okay, I believe we are already past it. Sadly... Oh, okay, that's the end of neutral section. Or was that another one? I don't know. Okay, speed limit will go down to 115. I'm doing 116. There we go. Now I'm within the speed limit. Hi Nam, welcome back. How's your studies go? Okay, and that's 115 speed limit. Which probably means, yeah, that's gonna be a platform. There we go. And back to 125. Nice, nice. One thing I like about this route is that whoever made it actually put some attention to detail when it comes to signs and signals. Apart from the fact that railworks work in its own way, so that's, you will probably never see double yellow and yellow unless someone specifically makes it in the mission in some weird way, which I couldn't figure out how to force the game to get that done. But the signs are more or less correct, so if the speed limit is about to change, then obviously you will get like a head speed limit sign somewhere. It, unlike like Train Sim World 2, where you just drive and all of a sudden you encounter a new speed limit that is 20 miles per hour lower than the previous one. Yeah, that doesn't look too well for a train. If you spot something like 200 meters in front of your train, and you realize, oh, I'm doing 20 miles above the speed limit. What am I going to do? There's nothing you can do in Train Sim World 2. You are obviously speeding, and you have to take it because you won't be able to slow down. In this game, in many routes, you actually have proper signs in places where they should be. So at least you got that information up ahead, as long as you won't miss that sign. So that is a nice touch. Okay. There we go. Ooh, I like this section of the route. You just got forest on the left, forest on the right. The tracks are in like a dip. Really nice, really nice, really nice. That's also a good way to build high-speed tracks, especially if surrounding area is built up, because obviously people won't get too much noise out of it. Okay, 123. Perfect. Right, so we will be diverging into Houston line in like 16 miles, I believe. So that's when I expect some speed limits. Okay, 60 is in diverging direction, so I don't really need to worry about it. We are doing 124. 125. Okay, let's let it coast. Perfect. Okay. Right, chat, that's the easy part of the route, as you can see. All I have to do is to control my speed, and I should be perfectly fine. But it's gonna take a while before I reach Coventry. And it would be very useful if the game would have something to show me. Nah. I mean, I do drink a lot of coffee. Oh. Let's slow down a little bit, because the speed limit is going to change just when I was about to make a sip of my coffee. The speed limit has to change, obviously. Right, but I'm getting close. 112. 110, perfect. Now I'm good. Ah, and now I can take a sip of my coffee. There we go, and that's the lower speed limit. Let's give it a notch 1 so that we can hold that speed. There we go. Back to notch 1. Yeah, 109, and the speed limit goes up to 125. Let's just give it a few seconds. And let's crank it up to notch 3. And now we can enjoy the ride. At the speed of nearly 200 kilometers per hour. Yeah, I think 125 miles an hour is roughly around 200. Damien, hello, welcome to the stream. I hope you will have a great time today. How are you doing? As you can see, we are now chilling, driving some high-speed train on a British WCML line, or HST, I believe. Although I might be wrong, because like I heard that Great Britain has something called HST, or high-speed train, or whatever, and technically that's the one. Or it is supposed to be one. Patrick, hello, welcome to the stream. I hope you'll have a great time today. How are you doing? I'm doing great, absolutely. Thank you for asking, both of you. And everyone who did ask today. Okay, 124. I hope I'm not speeding now. I completely didn't pay attention for a few seconds on the speed limit signs. There we go. Really? Like hand clutch? Oh, hand clutch. I mean, you always get a hand clutch on the motorcycle. It's always like you got what? Rear brakes are on the pedal and or on the lever next to your feet. Front brake is on one of the hands, and the clutch is on the other. Depending on which country you are driving in, it might be left or right. Because obviously, in UK things are in different places sometimes. But yeah, it's quite easy to operate the clutch on your hands. It's actually easier than a car for me. I mean, yeah, it is tilting a little bit, I know, but it doesn't have as good tilt as ICET that we've been driving last week or last time. If anyone was watching that, I've been doing that Dresden-Leipzig route with ICET, and you could actually see the train tilting. This thing is barely tilting. But yeah, Pendolino is not that bad. It's quite comfy train. And very easy to drive. I have to say that it's extremely easy to drive. Nah, I know. To be honest, after 3 years of using that, I was so good with my clutch on my bike, on my poor 125, that once I didn't even realize that. I stopped on a traffic light and I forgot to reduce the gear to 1. And I managed to, like, normally drive on 4th gear, which is, yeah, it's easy to stall on that one. But I somehow managed to do it, and I only realized that I got the wrong gear. Oops. When... Yeah, that... I'm speeding now. When the bike was like really, really slow, and I was like, why is it so slow? And then I realized, oh yeah, I'm on a 4th gear. Interesting. I've never actually took a ride on one of those. Mostly because I never traveled to London. Like I don't really have too much business there, so maybe one day I will take one of those. But it's good to know that they actually tilt. But yeah, on this part of the route, it doesn't seem to be tilting as much. Okay, I'm gonna slow down a little bit. Technically, if I understand that sign correctly, speed limit for me should still be 125. But that is if I have what was that, ECML? I'm not sure if I got it on. Or ECTS. I can't remember the name of that system. London Euston in 30 minutes. That's nice. Yeah, for me it would take like 4 hours. Railjet, hello, welcome to the stream. I hope you will have a great time today. Yes, we are driving Pendolino today. Although I'm not the best at it, so don't expect too comfortable ride, you know. Like harsh braking are definitely going to happen. Large delays, yeah, that's normal. Yeah, the real one is probably much better than mine. How long is this main line? It's about 110, 120 miles long, somewhere in that range. Like the distance between previous and current station was 75 miles. So yeah, it's gonna be like... Oh, this train features AWS, TAS and TPWS. Yeah. Okay. and I believe all of them should be on, so technically I should be able to travel at 125. Yeah, I really need to finish reading through that papers that I got from British Railways, or well, technically not directly from them, but yeah, that's pretty much their documents. So those are all traffic rules and regulations they got for drivers and dispatchers. Although I don't need the part for dispatchers, because yeah, there are no train dispatching games for UK. I believe the only games that feature some sort of dispatching that I know of, where you also can drive trains, are Train Driver 2 and Run 8. I don't remember any other games. Yeah, the problem is that this line is going only as far as Birmingham, so yeah. I mean, the line that I'm on, it will go only between London and Birmingham, but yeah, the full line is like 300 miles long. That would be cool to see it. I would actually love if they would feature entire routes, like all the way from London to Glasgow. Oh, really? So technically, if I would own all the WCML DLCs and a mod, it would connect all the routes all together. And is there gonna be like a single scenario where you can go all the way from London to Glasgow in a single scenario without restarting the game? Like, if they're gonna do that, I'm up for it. Like 300 miles, no worries. Yeah, I know it's more profits, but even if they sell it piece by piece, as long as those are extensions and it actually works as a single route, and you got scenarios going from one end to another all the way, that's perfectly fine. I don't mind if their business model requires them to like have it, and I understand that making that route is taking ages and a lot of like work and labor, so that's perfectly fine, but it would be nice if that would be extension to the current route rather than a brand new route. Okay, and I'm now speeding. There we go. Hello Bolt, welcome to the stream. I hope you'll have a great time today. How are you doing? Right, let me check. I still got 25 miles to go. My goodness me, this is a long route. Yeah, I have to admit that I'm starting to like it. The problem is that, yeah, it doesn't have any branch-offs, and like it feels empty. Don't get me wrong, Bolt. Like, that's the thing with all the British routes. They have that one thing in common. Usually they are really nice. Like, you have really nice views and so on and so. The problem is that Dovetail can't make them feel really full and like can't get that feeling that you are struggling with your timetable, not because it's unfairly made and you have to stick like literally at the speed limit in order to make it, but rather that there is so much traffic that you are being held on the lights and you are often on the clock or slightly late. Yes, definitely, it's still better than Train Sim World 2, like... Definitely, like... I have to admit that Train Simulator Classic or Train Simulator 2022 or whatever, yeah, it is still pretty much the same game. Like, even though it's 13 years old, it's still better than Train Sim World 2. It is far better. Even if some things doesn't work. Like, the game just has that content that Train Sim World 2 is missing. But it would be nice to have at least one of them, like branch line to have something to diverge to, you know, and that would be nice. I don't expect them to make like a full branch lines or entire tree. Although that would be nice. Over 13 years they probably could have made it. Especially that they can release all the extensions as a separate DLCs and everyone would be fine as long as they would connect into a single route. But well, we'll see. Maybe they will start doing that after Dresden-Leipzig extension. Because I think that's the first time they actually released extension to the route rather than separate route. So yeah, maybe they will start getting that habit to extend the routes rather than build up a brand new map that players have to load and have separate scenarios, because that makes no sense. Like, I can understand that someone did, let's say, first 20 miles of journey and they incorporated that as a separate DLC and blah blah blah. Somebody else or even the same person made another extension to that route and that's perfectly fine, yeah? That's how you make DLCs that will actually work with each other. But yeah, we'll see. Oops. Oh, okay, I was approaching 110 and TAS decided to slow me down. Okay. Oops. I need to pay attention to the signs, chat. There we go. Okay, back to 125. I guess 110 was just for a tunnel. Okay, let's check how far I am. 15 miles. Okay, not too bad, not too bad. Damien, I think we've already went past Watford Junction. Yep, we've been at Watford Junction about 20 minutes ago. I'm heading in opposite direction, so I'm heading from London to Birmingham, not from Birmingham to London. Yes, that was about 20 minutes ago. No, it's just that mod that is showing that I'm heading to Houston. But my next task is Coventry. I don't know why this mod is showing the wrong task, but well, blame the mod creators for that. I'm just using it for the clock, to be honest. Also, I wasn't paying attention to the speed limit, and I have a feeling that I might be running a little bit fast here. Like, I don't think that the speed limit on that section was 120. Right, definitely in diverging direction. I don't want to go that fast. I will probably get slammed for speeding on that section. Oh really? That was rugby. Oh, okay. I didn't even notice because I've been paying attention to chat mostly. And to the task list itself, so like I completely missed many informations that were placed alongside the tracks. But yeah, it definitely looks like interesting place. I personally prefer to see freight trains, and you don't see them too often in UK, although there are still like quite extensive freight routes. I think this section is 110. I would assume so. It looks pretty straight to me. The problem is that speeding up in this thing, it takes ages. I'm still doing 97. We'll see, we'll see. There should soon be some speed limit sign. They tend to repeat them quite often. I don't know, I couldn't see that in the game. Literally since the beginning of this journey we've seen 2 freight trains that were stopped at the light, and that's it. Obviously I'm moving on high speed route, or like high speed section of that route, or tracks or whatever, so I don't get to see that many freight trains. Class 92, yeah, definitely those are really nice locomotives. Right. Okay. I believe TAS is not reacting to 120, so I believe the speed limit will be 125. Although I don't really want to test it. I'm glad that you like it. I'm really glad that you like it. Yes, it is fast. The route supports up to 125 miles per hour. Obviously, the train can go slightly faster than that. Right, let's see. We still got 5 miles. Ooh, and it looks like we might actually make it. Chat, we got 3 minutes and 4 miles to go. So if I'm lucky, I might actually make it on time. Ooh. So there are faster routes in UK. That's interesting. So how fast does HST go at most? Is that only 130 or is that like 150-ish or something? Because technically you would expect that if you build high-speed routes, it can support pretty much infinite speeds, and all you have to do is to get fast enough trains. Right, 2.5 miles, chat. 125, okay. Okay, AWS is doing some fancy thing, and the speed limit will be 75, chat. 75. Okay, we are at 75. Oh, I see. I thought... Oh, never mind. Like, I know that Pendolino is Italian, isn't it? Yeah, I think that's Italian train, basically. At least it sounds very Italian. Oh! Would be nice to actually stop at this station. Chat, I think I overshot again. Yeah. Oops. Yeah, I think we will have to reverse. Chat. Okay. Some reversing action. Oh, and I was hoping I won't overshoot the station. Right, yeah. Don't do this at home and on real railways, you know. You don't normally reverse to your station. Oh, and I was right on time, chat. That was right on time, and now I lost that time. Oh, I'm so bad. Come on, how? There we go. Just stop. Okay. DRA on and doors opened. Okay, I believe the doors are now opened. Unfortunately, this train doesn't feature any animations. So even if I will do that, we won't see any doors opened. Oh, okay. It does have some animations, although first two cars doesn't. Oh, I in all honesty, I completely missed that message. Okay. Oh well. Slight delay. Yes, I'm very bad today. I'm very bad. Right, anyway. Next stop, Birmingham International at 6:30. Yeah, we'll be late. So if you are trying to catch a flight, I'm afraid you will have to rebook your tickets. And I mean it. Or next time, take earlier train. Yeah, speaking of funny announcements, it reminds me one announcement in train from Liverpool the other day. Like the driver was trying to be fancy with announcements, or was it like a train director or whatever? Yeah, and they were making an announcement where it's like a restaurant car, and announcements went like, oh yeah, passengers from the first class have an access to like a restaurant wagon which is located, or restaurant car which is located in that and that place. And then he wanted to add something funny for passengers in the second class, but eventually like it sounded like, and for the second class passengers, yeah, you just have your seats or something like that. It was like, what? Luigi Rota, we got 2 more stops to go. Right, what was the previous sign? Was it 85? Oh, never mind, we got 100, so we shall follow this one. There we go. Oh, I see. So that's a bug. That's why they don't have the doors animation. Wow. See, and that's why during the first attempt I thought, oh, the doors are closed already, so I can go. I went and they weren't closed. It's impossible to overshoot New Street as you have a 10 mph speed restriction. Yeah, hopefully. Oh. Yeah, I should have paid attention. Sorry, Tass. There we go. I was exactly at the speed limit and Tass started to give me a pain. Yeah, but it will be hard to overshoot a station if you got 10 mph speed restriction. That's true, that's true. Like, I would have to be very talented to do that. Right, where's the next one? Less than 6 miles. Yeah, I will be late just because I overshoot the previous one. But that's definitely an interesting route, and I'm really tempted to give it a shot with a freight train. But that's the problem of that route. Dovetail introduced only one scenario for freight train. Literally just one. All the rest are passenger services. There we go. Okay, we are now approaching 120. Railjet, it is and it isn't. Like, yes, placing a simple train and just going from one end to another, that is very simple, but that wouldn't be any sort of exciting scenario, isn't it? Like, you really need to introduce something interesting in that. And if you want to make something interesting in that editor, which is a bit clunky and doesn't really work that well, yeah, you really have to put a lot of work and testing into that. But yes, there are some amazing things possible in that editor. Definitely. TAS. Oh, okay. I'm going a bit over the speed limit. Once more I missed speed limit sign. Yeah, shut up. There we go. Could you please stop braking? Thank you. Boy. Are you joking me? Oh, this thing introduced emergency brakes. Why would that thing engage emergency brakes if I were like 2 miles above the speed limit? Come on, give me a break. And I was already slowing down myself. Thanks, TAS. Oh well, that's what I get for not being focused, I guess. Oh well. We got less than a mile. And again, if not for the TAS, I would probably be more or less on time. I had a chance. I had a chance to make it. Right, let's do 45. Since we are about to stop anyway. North London. Interesting. Yes, Railjet, I do remember I have to stop here. Okay. That's accurate enough for me. Is it? Yeah, the doors are opened. Chat, I actually managed to stop at the right place. It's only the first doors that missed, but okay, who cares? They don't open anyway, they were broken. The only thing I wish the game would do properly is to give me that red light when I approach the station, you know? Stop in the platform, not in Manchester. Yeah, definitely. Manchester is not the place you want to stop. We always skip this station. Thank you. There we go. Alright, chat. We are now heading to Birmingham New Street platform. Platform 04B. There we go. Yes. And we are more or less on time. Even with my mistakes, even with my poor quality driving, because yeah, I can't say I'm driving too well today. Like, I have to admit that I'm not too far off from the timetable. Obviously, yeah, that last stop was absolutely terrible because TAS decided, yeah, you know what, let's bring your train to a complete stop 800 yards away from the station. That was really not nice. Oh well, I should have paid attention to the signs and speed limits. There we go, we got some planes starting or landing, I can't say. Yeah, but we had some planes. There we go. Back to speed. The limit is 100 miles an hour, so I probably should lower the throttle. There we go. We're doing 95, which is safe. And we still got 5.5 miles to go. Okay, we are pretty much at the speed limit. Almost there, chat. Almost there. Okay, I believe soon we will start seeing some speed limit reductions. I wouldn't be surprised. Because we are getting very, very close. 3 miles. And we still got 2 minutes. That's not too bad. Okay, 65. We do not stop until London, but the problem is that we are not heading to London at the moment. And there we go. We are exactly at 65. Perfect. And I believe the speed limit will go down even further, because that's going to be the end of the route. There we go, 2565. And now another speed limit reduction to 30 miles an hour. There we go. Oh, come on. So I don't get it. Normally, I pressed Q like 6 times and that thing didn't turn off. Like, I completely don't get this thing. Are you going to move now? Yeah, and now this thing decided, yeah, you know what? Okay, am I going to be able to move? There we go. I don't know why, but TAS decided to stop me even though I was within the speed limit. At least, yeah, according to the sign, it was 25 over 65, and obviously I'm equipped with all the systems that would be required to run 65. But apparently, the game decided to apply 25 limit to me. Although, I wouldn't be surprised if that would be a mistake on Dovetail end. And that was supposed to be only 25 signed for all trains, but apparently someone decided to be creative. Okay, let's stick to 25 miles an hour. See, Chaz, and that's the problem with those routes. If like someone from Dovetail will make a silly mistake like this one, where you got signs with 2 speed limits, obviously one of the speed limits applies to high-speed trains, the other one applies to other trains. So let's say normal passenger trains and freight trains. And effectively, the previous sign lied to me. Because I've been doing 65, and all of a sudden, oh, there is another sign. 20. Yeah, probably I will stick to 20. Okay, AWS stops working. And yes, Luigi, this is the final station. All I need to do is to stop at the right spot. Okay. Oh, I wasn't informed about that 10. Taz, stop it. No, not the train. Like, literally. Oh. There we go. Back on track. Birmingham New Street. There we go. Biggest interchange in UK. Yeah, sounds correct, because Birmingham is pretty much right bang in the middle. So yeah, you would expect to have everything going through it. At least west coast and central. Okay, I'm supposed to stop at 4B, so that's here. Okay, we got some safe distance from the signal. And the doors are opened. Ooh, for a change, the front ones are also opened, apart from these ones, but I think they never open. Right, chat, even with my terrible driving today, we made it. This train arrives at the final destination and I didn't crash. Hey, that's a success. This is the end of your shift today, yeah, definitely. Right, let's see my 0 point score, because yeah, you scored 0, definitely. So I've been doing 52 in a 50 at the beginning of the route, okay, not too bad. 102 on 100, okay, that's typical for me. Yeah, I've been a little bit over the speed limit. Obviously, I've been late a few times, and that cost me like tons of points. Okay, those few speeding offenses that I made was enough to reduce my points down to 0. Eventually, last 2 stations, I was super late, according to the game, because being 2 minutes late means that you have to go into negatives with points, but well, it is what it is, isn't it? There we go. We can hide that. And now, chat. Now, that's the end of this journey, yes, and that was WCML line. And definitely, that was an interesting route, and I will give it a shot with a freight train the other day. I feel much better with those rather than like passenger stops, especially on UK routes where you don't really have any indication where the stop is. So if you like to drive without UI like I do, it's not really fun because you can't do it right. You still need to get some UI elements in order to be able to drive passenger services, especially on UK routes. And that's not correct. I don't find this a correct system. Like if Dovetail would introduce proper signaling for that, probably it's much better. That's why in Train Sim World 2 it is somewhat doable. But on the other hand, in Train Sim World 2, when they make a route, it's missing some speed limit signs and stuff. And then again, you can't do it right because the route is missing signs, and that makes no sense. So yeah, Dovetail definitely needs to improve UK content. It's still good, don't get me wrong, it's still good. But I would like to see a proper signaling that will actually work like a proper signaling. And there is not that much. UK signaling system isn't that complicated, especially compared to Polish system or German systems, where they got two. So yeah, it's definitely doable from the programming perspective, and in 13 years they haven't done anything to actually improve on that. That would be really, really nice to see some red lights, yellow lights, and stuff that will eventually help you drive your train. And then it would be much easier to drive the trains without any UI or without too many UI elements, just as I like it. Because let's face it, if you turn on UI in this game, it feels like I'm operating like one of those model trains. You just got like 2-3 sliders and it works. That's not the reason why I play train simulators. I would like to actually learn how to somewhat drive whatever it is modeled without any UI help, using only controls that are available in the cabin. That would be perfect. So yeah, definitely that was really nicely made route. It had some missing elements. It was a bit empty. You know how it is. Making missions isn't easy. Definitely. But again, coming back to a company that takes money out of it, and they have employees that are supposed to work on that every day, you would expect to have more interesting missions, at least, even if there are just a few of them. But well, we'll see. Anyway, speaking of mission creation, I've been recently messing up with the editor. So I decided to eventually give it a try. And I spent like a couple of hours figuring out how to do basic simple things. Well, simple. Not in editor, honestly. Yes, you can just plop a train and tell them, hey, go from here to here, and it will go. And the signals will work automatically. The game will assign automatic like a timetable, including the speed of the train and all that stuff. So at least you don't have to worry about that. But yeah, have you ever tried to make a train to do some shunting? I mean, AI train. I can tell you, I spent quite a few hours to do just that. So chat, enjoy that small little preview of what I did in the editor. Yeah, it's gonna take like 10 to 20 minutes, so we can sit down and have a chat about it. And then, yes, when is next live? Next live, I don't know, to be honest. I never planned those. So, chat, as you can see, I was in editor because that's pre-recorded. I'm not currently in the editor. That is something I recorded like last night, literally. I've been testing if I can make trains or AI trains to actually do some shunting, so move cargo from, let's say, one siding to another. And to be honest, you really have to use a lot of different commands and tricks in order to make this little fella to connect to the wagons and move them to other siding. Like, getting that done was a lot of testing. Seriously, I spent so much time testing, because every single time I tried it, either locomotive crashed into the wagons and the scenario was over, because apparently when AI train will crash, the game will say, yep, scenario failed. Okay, yeah, it did, indeed. Very often it happens that this locomotive would get close to the wagons connect with them, spend like 40 seconds or 50 seconds that I programmed to like at least try and simulate the fact that somebody has to like connect everything together before the train can move. And that's why it's standing so long attached to those wagons. And eventually the locomotive would drive off and the wagons would stay behind. Like, I just couldn't figure out how this thing works. And yeah, it's really clunky, seriously. Like, this game has very weird logic. But eventually I succeeded. So then comes second challenge. Obviously in editor they don't recommend to send trains in directions so that they have to go through the junctions between each other, because that creates problems. And believe me on that, yes, it does. It really does. It was really hard to program this thing so that one train will leave the siding, the other one will maneuver into the siding and pull out another consist out of it. Like, that seemed like an impossible task. Like, it was so hard to get it done that it's absolutely unbelievable. So there we go. I hope you can see that. Well, I hope you can hear that, because I can't. Yeah, I hope you guys have normal sounds. They should be properly capped at a proper volume. But again, yeah, it's been like it's been so difficult to make this element happen. Eventually this locomotive, I believe, it will go to one of the sidings, it will reverse and pick up another consist. So I'm hoping this will be part of the scenario that I will eventually finish as soon as I will overcome a few other issues that I will have. And I'm gonna try to make this world a little bit more lively, I'd say. But again, like putting any train and getting it to run, you first need to test it, because otherwise AI will do something silly. And it literally takes so much testing. Like this section with those two locomotives maneuvering, I believe it takes about 17 minutes to complete the whole instruction. So I had to literally test every single second of that, because you never know when one of these locomotives will do something silly and get stuck. But I got through it. Like, because of the testing time, it took me like 2-3 days. The work in the editor was like maybe 2-3 hours, honestly. So yeah, it is definitely possible to make the locomotives shunt, although I am trying to figure out a few other things. So perhaps I've been also thinking about making the trains to stop at specific siding, go around the consist and let's say cut it in half. That would be another challenge. And definitely cool thing that would happen around you as you drive your train, whatever that will be, whether it is passenger or freight train. But yeah, it is still a success to see that this worked. This actually worked, chat. Train Sim World. You mean the first Train Sim World or Train Sim World 2? Because I think Train Sim World 2 has very terrible editor. Although they might have improved. I looked into it once and like the most you can do is liveries and stuff. So don't get me wrong, I really like editor from Railworks or from Train Simulator. It's really nice and quite easy to use. The problem is that the game doesn't have functionality that you would need in order to make things work. Seriously, like getting this shunt maneuver just for 2 AI trains that you will see probably for like 5 to 10 minutes. Oh, I see, so it's Train Sim World 1. Okay, I haven't seen editor in Train Sim World 1. I would have to give it a shot. And perhaps, maybe I could try with that one as well. Although I don't think Dovetail is still releasing anything for Train Sim World 1. I think they completely abandoned it since Train Sim World 2 is a thing. The problem is that, yeah, again, Train Sim World 2 doesn't have editor. All you can do is to repaint your locomotives, which is like, no thanks. I'm not bothered. Yeah, it makes it easier for people to make a new liveries. But I would like to make my own scenarios, because I believe I could make much better scenario with some work input, of course, than Dovetail ever made. Because, yeah. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, that is the problem of Dovetail. Yeah, like they won't introduce something like I'm trying to do here, where there are some trains that are coming into sidings. Obviously the player will be somewhere in between that, and player will have his own tasks while those 2 locomotives operate. Probably it will be like wait for one of them and pick up one of those consists and drive off. But again, you are supposed to be somewhere in here, and something is happening around you, and it's something related to what you will do. You have to actually interact with those trains one way or another, and that's the idea of the scenario. It's not just you being stopped at the siding, having green light in front of you, and off you go, mate. You can just go to the point B, and then when you will stop, we will display a message on your screen saying good job, and that's it. Like, I don't know, but that's a good idea for one scenario, when you do literally one scenario to make it faster and increase the amount of scenarios. Yes, that's fine. Passenger service scenarios, at least some of them where you have to stick to tight timetables, yes. Okay, it's nice. But when you do only that is a problem, isn't it? When you don't use full editor that you have, and that editor is capable of doing that, for example. So the scenes you are seeing, it's all AI. I'm just flying with the camera around them because I haven't placed the player yet. So there we go. This one is waiting at the red light because the other locomotive went onto a side track to reverse, and obviously it has to go through from signal to signal. So eventually we are waiting for the previous one, and the previous one should be returning shortly. I think it is now going back, and sadly I put that into a small window, and unfortunately I didn't set up OBS to display it on full screen, and mostly because it's a bonus and you don't have to see everything. Let's say not everything works yet, but yeah, I will be working on that, just to give you guys a little bit heads up. So that you can see that yes, I am working on one of the scenarios, and at one point something will happen. I will try to perhaps play it live, We will be probably going all the way to Dresden or somewhere in that vicinity. But yeah, that's the plan. That's definitely the plan. And now I need to make sure that this route will feel busy. So obviously this is a very busy route. There we go. That's the other locomotive. It will go through other sidings, because right now the access to those ones is blocked by this locomotive. And before you start asking, did this guy just went on the red light? Not exactly. There are shunting lights incorporated into that. The problem is they are very deep, so from the side you can't see them. Probably I was going after the other locomotive. Yes, I think I'm going after the other locomotive, and you will see what I'm talking about. There we go. So this one is currently running around the whole yard. There we go. I have to admit, it was really fun to set that entire scene. Like, it felt like playing with a model train. Oh, there we go. That's how shunting signal looks on the normal semaphores. So now this train will be able to carry on. But again, the main line is currently quite empty, so that's why the shunting signals were so fast. Perhaps I will try and delay that whole process a little bit by adding some freight trains that will go back and forth. Perhaps some of them might even stop on one of the sidings to wait for another train and do stuff like that. I'll try to make it lively, definitely. And there we go, and that's going to be reverse track, and from this one, this locomotive will head on to its own siding to rest, and the other one will stop in the same place as this one and rest there. And so basically that's the whole idea of this simple movement. Although, yeah, making it was really tough. Right, whew, I guess, chat, that's gonna be it for today. I will try to return with, what will that be, Tahoma Pass. Not sure, tomorrow probably not. But since I got a little bit more time this week, I will try to squeeze in perhaps one extra stream. It all depends what time I will actually get up this week, but yeah, the plan is to do another stream somewhere, maybe on Thursday, maybe on Wednesday. Well, Wednesday is tomorrow. Definitely I will try to squeeze in something between Thursday and Friday. And obviously, the hope is to eventually do something on Saturday. I'm not sure if we will go with community stream. I think I will hold on for now with those. Because there's not much to do in Railroads Online. That's the idea. But definitely we will get back to it. And that's the plan for this week. So at least 2 streams are planned for this week. I'm not sure exactly when. But it will happen, so stay tuned and make sure. Yeah, that's better. And make sure to press that like and subscribe buttons. Definitely, that will help me. And that will help the channel grow. If you are watching me on Twitch, feel free to press that follow button. And obviously, don't forget to join my Discord if you want to discuss some of your cool adventures or creations from Train Simulator or any other game that me and some other people on my Discord are playing. So yeah, thanks for watching and see you next time. Bye bye.